Hello, this is John from hybridongames.com, and today I'm here to continue playing Ys, The Vanished Omens on the Sega Master System. This is going to be my third episode for this Let's Play. I feel like I made some pretty good progress in the first two videos, mostly done in the first. Of course, we started the game, we spoke to a lot of people in the town of Minea, where Aaron, or truly Adel Christian, has found himself. He has wandered into the kingdom of Ys as they are nearing a calamitous point. The evil Dark Dect is planning diabolical magic. But he is going to save the day. Let me figure out exactly where I was. It's Monday, August 8th, 2016, so I'm picking up from playing yesterday. Let me see. I know we retrieved that ruby from the palace, and that is truly just an item I need to sell. We'll go ahead and head over to the market and sell that after we talk to this person that is. Let's see, we want to sell. We will sell a ruby. 1,200 gold pieces will sell. I've got 2,000. Now I need to decide if I want to buy armor or increase a better weapon, what I want to do. Let's see. Of course, we've been entering the palace. There's something I was reading about the palace. After playing last night, I looked around, kind of do some digging, some hints and tips, see what else out there for the game, and I think I decided I'm going to write a fact for this game, or at least I'm going to try. I'm going to try and write a walkthrough. This will be the first walkthrough I attempt, so it may be a little rough and it'll be a learning experience, but it'd be something fun. It'd be a learning experience. So I'm going to try and do that. There's one walkthrough on GameFAQs. It was published by Clint Dyer. I was thinking, man, I recognize that name. Where do I recognize that name from? Well, a couple of years ago I was inputting a lot of credits into Giant Bomb from old game manuals, try and boost their wiki. And a lot of the ones I did were for Sega Genesis games, Sega CD games, stuff like that, because they always had credits, especially first-party games. They always had credits in their manuals. Most of them did. Well, he is a marketing guy at Sega of America, so his name would pop up in those manuals often. So the first thing I do is, let me check Giant Bomb. That name sounds familiar. And whenever I go there, I see, lots of early to mid-90s Sega games. I probably put in a lot of this information. Hence why the name sounds familiar. So that's cool that he wrote a fact for a walkthrough for this game. He also wrote a walkthrough for a handful of other Sega Master System games. Judging by his output, he was a fan of the Master System. The walkthrough dates to late 90s, early 2000s, though. I think most recent activity on there, or at least most recent published activity, was 2000. So, maybe I can bring something new to that realm, the walkthrough areas of Ys, The Vanished Omens for GameFAQs. And like I said, it'll be something fun to try, something new. Let's see, we've got that 2,000. Right now we're trying to go into this palace. That boss on the first floor of this palace has given us difficulty. Of course, I could try grinding. How close am I to the next level? I'm kind of far away. I've got 452 out of 800 experience. What? I can't. What is it? Okay, I can't. That's Jenny playing Super Metroid. After I hooked that up for her yesterday, she's been jamming on that. See this palace. We'll try getting a stronger weapon. Maybe I should try defense. We'll see. Oh. Now Little Pup's sticking her head in here, seeing what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and shut that, just so don't hear the noise of Super Metroid, the music of Super Metroid. Don't have Little Pup coming in here. Jeeves, the cat, coming in here, causing distractions. Longsword's 2,000. We'll go ahead and save before we do this. Okay, so let's give this a shot. But yeah, I'm pretty tired. I was contemplating even trying to record a video or not. Because like I was saying in one of the first two videos, whenever I play RPGs, especially JRPGs, they usually just put me to sleep. You know, you have the repetitive music, which is good. You know, the music doesn't have to be bad for it to be repetitive. Or it doesn't have to be bad because it's repetitive. You know, I like this music a lot, but just hearing it ad nauseum would kind of put me to sleep. This game's a little bit more of an active game, though. It's not a turn-based RPG, so I'm actually in control of my character the entire time doing stuff. So that kind of alleviates a little bit of the grogginess I may encounter otherwise, but I'm still pretty tired. It was Monday, so it was back to work, which there was something I saw while doing a little bit of reading last night on this game. There was one or two old hints mailings that Sega of America put out, and on them they talked about an item to get by walking into a specific indentation into the lake. It's basically just an item for me to resell. I'm gonna try and find that, I guess, before heading to the... Well, I better go to the palace first, because I saved before I bought the sword just so I could test it out. So we better test out the sword. Unless this is the indentation right here. Nothing's happening. But yeah, Monday back to work. Monday's always very busy catching up with information from the weekend. I work as an accountant in a grocery store, accounting for a chain of independently owned grocery stores, so there's always a ton of stuff to do. Always a ton of stuff to do. Especially on Mondays. Not working the weekends, a little bit of work piles up. I like it though. That means Mondays just fly by. As a result, I usually leave work Monday kind of tired. And after work today, I actually cooked something. Jenny and I have been... Oh yeah, these guys go down so much easier with this sword. Jenny and I have been trying to make a menu for the upcoming week, usually on a Saturday or Sunday. That way, whenever we go grocery shopping, we have a specific list of items to buy. We know what we're having for dinner each night. It's not something where we both get home from work and it's like, well, what are we having? I don't know. What do you want? So that saves money. Also helps. It saves time. Much more efficient. Man, it saves a lot of time. But I decided... she worked late tonight, so it was I was going to have to cook something. I was going to have to fend for myself, as I say. I decided to make something different. I wanted some seafood. I think we've got beef on the menu for this week. We got chicken. I always like to kind of structure it where we have, beef, chicken, pork, fish, a salad night, something like that. So we're not getting burned out by eating the same thing every week or every other day. I wanted something seafood related. We had some rotini in the cabinet, so I'm like, okay, what sort of seafood rotini can I make? Found a recipe for some seafood broccoli rotini, or shrimp broccoli rotini. So I made that. It turned out pretty good. I was satisfied with it. I really like broccoli. Shrimp are pretty good too. Could have used more seasoning, but I'm kind of new to cooking, or not experienced. So as I cook more and more, that seasoning profiles, a seasoning palette will develop, and I'll get better at stuff like that. But it was fun making it. Had to prepare the broccoli, had to cook the pasta, cook the shrimp, had two things going at once on the stove. Turned out well. Jeff came over. Okay, still not attacking him. A friend came over, so he had some. Afterwards, we went and played Pokemon Go, but it started sprinkling, so we headed back homeward bound and called it a night there. Of course, Jenny's back now. She's playing Super Metroid. So I took the opportunity to play this. Okay, so do we want to buy armor? I don't know that we want to buy armor. Or a shield. Am I just going to have to grind it out to beat that guy? Beat that boss? Let me review my notes again real quick. I think we will go and I'll try and find that item by the lake, that hidden item. Pretty much all I've got in my notes is a bunch of the stuff that I need to bring back, like the harmonica for the lady up in the northeastern section of the town, retrieve the body of the dead thief from the Tower of the Doomed. I wonder if I'm just gonna have to grind. If that's the case, thinking if I want to go ahead and buy that sword. Let's go find that hidden item real quick. And it's just something for me to sell. It's the, the merchant buys rubies and he buys something else. It's the something else. That'll probably give me a lot of gold, so I'll be fine to buy a sword at that point and still have some pocket change left. I think if I were to buy it now, it would pretty much empty me. Yeah, 2038, I just have 38 gold. I'd like to be in a better position than that whenever I buy it. Seeing if I remember right, I think it's down here by the lake. I didn't really read the newsletter, I just kind of skimmed it.
Is that supposed to be eaten cold?
You can warm it up. We ate it hot. Let's see. She's going to have some of the leftover shrimp and broccoli rotini. They seem to indicate it'd be pretty hard to miss. But I must be a dunce because I'm missing this apparently. They did say lake, so maybe it's this body of water up here. See, I would think it'd be right here. Nothing's happening. Or maybe it's down here. Right here. There it is. There's something sparkling in the spring. If one peers into the water, a gold pedestal can be seen. Aaron finds a gold pedestal. Okay. So right at that indentation at the far right of the lake. Kind of dead center. Let's head back to Manea. Let's sell that, see what gold that leaves them with, and we'll armor up. Hey, you get back here. Okay. Let's find the merchant. Is this his house or is he the middle one? No, he's this one. So let's sell gold pedestal. Wait, I lost this pedestal myself at a spring in the south. How did you get it? Maybe 2,000 gold for it. I mean, did you really lose it? If you really lost it, would you buy it from me for that much? And again, this is the same guy who took a sapphire ring, or found a sapphire ring and resold it, so. Not hard to believe. So we will buy a sword. We'll buy the long sword. How much is the Tower World? That's 5,000, 6,000? 5,000. So yeah, we'll buy the long sword. And I'll get the shield. Actually, I'm going to save before doing so. Probably always a good idea to save before making a decision like this. Especially whenever it just leaves you with 76 gold. May have to start using a second save file so I can have alternate options. More choices, not a bad thing. Oh yeah, I need to equip that stuff too. So we'll equip the long sword, we'll equip the middle shield. Got the temple key and the crystal. What's our experience? 465 out of 800. I guess let's head to Northern Zepik, head up to the hills, see if we can't grind. See what it... We'll see if we can figure out about how long it's going to take to get to the next level. May have to spend some time grinding to take on that boss. So I don't know if I have any other options, any sort of specific ways to take him out other than brute force. Not to my knowledge. At least not to my knowledge at this point. I'm still early in this game. There's probably a lot of... Actually, I know there's a lot about this game that I do not know yet. I mean, I don't have any items or rings to equip yet either. Maybe there's something like that I need to find and equip to weaken him or freeze those poles that are attacking me. I don't know. I just don't know. One thing I do know is that I don't like this control pad. Since last night I have not taken it apart. In fact, I've got some screwdrivers behind my capture setup back there. I'm going to lay that out so I remember to take this controller apart and inspect it. Let's see. 482 experience. 482. I think these guys give me like 4 experience. There's 2 of them. Yeah, 4 experience. It's gonna take forever. Oh, he actually blocked me. This middle shield is helping me tremendously with these enemies, though. And of course, this longsword's making short work of them. Combined, they are killer. Of course, this is a thieves' den. They have nothing new to say to me. 502 out of 800. Put me at 506 out of 800. 510 out of 800. Man, I wish there were enemies that yielded more experience than this at this point. I mean, grinding is going to take forever. have been watching the Olympics. That started, the opening ceremony was Friday night. I did not watch any of that, but Saturday, Sunday, I was just hanging out around the house, cleaning, just lazing about. I watched some of that. Watched women's cycling. That's fascinating. That's real interesting. I like cycling. Watched men's beach volleyball, women's indoor volleyball. Again, volleyball, I really like that sport too. It's real fun to play. Watched a handful of the swimming competitions. Watched a handful of the gymnastic competitions. I think that's about it. I've been making sure to keep along with the medal count. Each day I at least check before I go to bed what the medal count is. I know last I checked just a handful of hours ago, I think China had the most gold with 4. I think like America, Italy, and another country were tied for 3 for second place, and then America had the most overall. And of course, I'm rooting for America. I mean, they should win the most medals at least, if not the most gold. We have the most athletes in the competition. It's one of the things I was looking at on Google while checking out the medal counts. I think America has 550 roughly athletes participating in the Olympics. 2016 Rio Olympics, the 31st Olympiad. I think the next closest country has like 425, 450. Seemed like a lot of the other big countries had about 400. And then just skews down from there. Of course, the big things I can think of that I've seen or heard so far was Virginia Thrasher, winning the first gold medal of the competition for the, I think it was like 10 meters, women's target shoot, something like that. So that was awesome. And of course on Twitter see stuff like, man, first medal goes to America for shooting. Can't get more stereotypical than that. Still, good job. Good job to the competitors, good job to her. Another thing that we talked a little bit about at the bar on Saturday night was, I think it was the French gymnast who broke his leg during a routine. I think he was doing, I don't know what he was doing, but he was running, he jumped. I think he was doing, I don't know if it's called pommel horses. That may be what it's called. No, because pommel horse is where you stand on it and stand on it with your arms and you're doing your routine. I think. I don't know gymnastics. Anyways, he was running, hit his jump, landed, then leg broke. Oof. It was a sight to behold. That sort of stuff doesn't impact me too badly. I mean, I definitely get a little wheezy looking at that and thinking about it. But I'm still kind of drawn to it with a morbid curiosity just to check it out. But I feel for him. He seemed like a trooper too. He didn't cry at all. He was just kind of sitting there I don't know if he was really in shock. I mean, he was probably, his body biologically was in shock, but he seemed like he was just, pretty cool with it. He was just going to sit there and wait for the stretcher, wait for assistance. I guess while we're at the bar Saturday, they had basketball on. Some other countries playing and racking up a very low score. Not very exciting. Let's see, all right, 600. Let's save there. But yes, Olympics are definitely fun to follow along with. I don't remember ever really being actively interested in them, but the way I do it now, where I'm just kind of passively watching on the weekends, or checking the medal counts, checking the highlights each day. That's probably how most people get their Olympics news, follow along with the Olympics. But it's entertaining. it's fun to be keep up to date with that. Just kind of stay up to date with the zeitgeist of it all. Be able to discuss it at work. Be able to speak about it with friends and kind of know what's going on. It'd be nice if, like, every now and then one of these just randomly gave me more experience. Sort of like whenever you're playing Legend of Zelda, every now and then an enemy will drop a bigger rupee, bigger set of rupees than they normally would. I would definitely make this grinding session go by a little quicker. Oh, you know what? I should have tried going in that cave. Just to the northwest of Zepik. Now that I've got better armor or better shield and better weaponry. Speaking of that, what's my money at? 774 gold. Maybe by the time I'm grinded to level 4, I'll have enough gold to buy some armor. Buy new armor, upgraded armor. I think the one issue that'll give me, or the one aspect of this game that should be the biggest issue for me to overcome when writing my FAQ or my walkthrough for this game is going to be the maps. See, I would typically just verbally describe the palace, or I'm sure like the Tower of the Doomed is going to be maze-like. It's going to have a lot of rooms. Typically, whenever I take my notes, I verbally describe it. Verbally describe places like that. Maybe every now and then take a picture and put it in to OneNote. Here, though, I think I may have to draw it out somehow. And then that is going to come out looking very rudimentary because I'm not very artistic. I have made maps for games before, especially older games like this. Zelda, Zelda 2, Metroid. I spent a summer making graph paper maps for those games, and that was fun. I still have a binder with those, got them colored in and everything. But if I do make maps for this, they'll probably come out looking rudimentary like that, like graph paper maps. Maybe try and use Excel somehow. I'll have to figure out what to do. And of course I still will have to verbally describe the temples, the dungeons, the caves, if I do put those maps. So far, and of course I'm again very early into this game, it seems like it shouldn't be too difficult to compose a walkthrough for it. That first video I kind of restarted towards the end and realized, okay, first things first, I'm going to buy that sapphire ring and go give it to Donis. Looking through Clint Dyer's FAQ and then some of the magazine articles from some of the period magazine articles, it seems like everyone recommends going and getting that gold pedestal first. Or no, I think they just want you to buy a sword and armor, I think is what you can get first. I think you have enough to get that right off the bat. And then going and getting that gold pedestal, coming back and buying the sapphire ring, giving that to Donis, and then re-equip with some better armor or a better shield. So already there's some alteration between the way I did things, or the way I would do things, and what is gospel according to what's available on the internet at the moment. 738, we're just about there. What was my gold count? 1054. So we're not going to make the gold count by the time I reach the next level. It's not too late. I'm going to have time to do something else before going to bed. To be honest, I am pretty tired. So I may just hop in bed after doing this, but maybe I'll try and carve some time to play Final Fantasy VI or play Pokemon Yellow. Final Fantasy VI, like I said in previous videos, I'm nearing the end of that game. Right now I'm trying to go and reunite with all my former party members in the, I think it's, colloquially, I don't know if I'm not pronouncing that word right here. I think it's in what is known as the World of Ruin. Trying to reunite with all the party members before going on and taking Kefka. I've got just about all the party members. Right now I'm trying to get Strago from the Tower of Kefka, the Cult of Kefka. Seems like he's been indoctrinated into the Cult of Kefka. I think he may, maybe it's just a ruse or something. He doesn't speak to me, so leads me to believe there's something authentic with it. Maybe he's been brainwashed. The party is trying to climb this gigantic tower, and the enemies that populate it can only be damaged by magic. I'm kind of burning out at that point. I do not like using only magic in RPGs. I'm much more of a swords and shields, just intense combat up front. Just I want to overpower you sort of player. I want to be the tank. So whenever I have to use magic, I have to worry about, okay, MP consumption. Do these characters know these spells? What is this enemy weak to? Does he have reflect active? There's a lot of stuff to take into account, and that's kind of slows down the game a little bit for me. Leads me to using more tinctures, more items to restore my MP, more uncertainty whenever I attack the enemy, especially just because the variation between the MP damage or the magic power that each character has, at least stronger and weaker spells. 800 out of 1600, so it looks like every time you level up, the requirement just doubles. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and try taking on that boss again. So I'm kind of slowing down at that point. I think after Strago, I really just have Realm, which I've rescued her, and she's back in Thamasa, in her native hometown. She's not joining my party, though. She's recuperating in bed. So I don't know what I need to do there. I imagine it's just getting Strago, which is why I'm going after him now. And I'm getting Realm in favor of Shadow. I think he did not make it in the transition between the world before and the world that is as it is now in the Apocalypse. And after that, I think Locke. Locke's the last one I need to get. And with him, I can tackle any sort of side quests I want to clean up before taking on Kefka. Go after any of the Espers I want to get before taking on Kefka. For the most part, though, I think I'll just try and take on Kefka. I have been going around and around the world revisiting each town pretty often in this world of ruin. So I think I've done pretty much all I can do until I rescue Strago, get Realm, rescue Locke. At that point I'll have pretty much a complete party, be able to take on Kefka, hopefully be done with the game. Put a bow on Final Fantasy VI. Okay. Speaking of putting a bow on things, let's try and put a bow on this guy. Let's try and overcome him. Oh, I'm damaging him now. Of course, I'm still getting damaged. That was a bad spot to be in. I don't think I'm going to survive this one. Maybe I ought to just wait for him to appear in the center. Seems like I've got the best chance of... I'm dead. Seems like I've got the best chance of not taking damage whenever he spawns in the center. What's my gold? 1,300. I think the only thing that costs 2,000 I can still buy is going to be the armor. I can grind out for that. Try and persist. Let me give it one more shot trying to persist. I don't think I'm strong enough yet, though. Looks like I need just a little more to get over the hump. Because I can do damage to him now, but I'm doing very little damage to him. And those poles are damaging me. Well, not too bad, but I have less health than he does, so I'm going to have to dodge a handful if I want to last long enough to take down his health. I wonder if that actually depletes the key I had. I don't think so. I think that top item's the key. It still shows there. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to get some armor. I'm not gonna be crafty enough to dodge these things. Unless that happens enough times. Maybe that'll happen enough times. It'd be great if my health could regenerate in here. And he spawns and then he disappears so quickly. He's kind of a lame boss if you think about it. He doesn't even attack me. He's just relying on the environment to do damage to me. I love how he just spawns like this. Doesn't shoot fire at me, doesn't shoot any sort of magical attack at me, just says, hey, come get me. I've got these poles protecting me. Good luck. Should have had him. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay. So I'm going to need to grind some more. At least enough to get the next armor up from what I have. And what do these guys give me? A little more than 10? Yeah, they give me 14. It shouldn't take too long to do that. Shoot, by the time I get enough gold, I'll probably be close enough to level 5. Yeah, I'll probably be close enough to level 5 that I said, I'm close enough to level 5. May as well go for it. Which would make that fight a little more easier. A little more easier? This makes me wish there were enemies in that palace. Stronger enemies. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to go back to that cave northwest of Zephic. Try and see if I can defeat those enemies in there now. Now that I've got better equipment and have leveled up once more. There's the mayor's house, the mayor of Zepik. I promised not to tell anyone about the stolen silver bell of the town. Better save before entering here. And let's see, I've got 837 and 1404. Still not even close. Things got more than twice the health of me. Looks like more than twice the health. And I can't even get a strike on him before he takes me out. So that is not a possibility at this moment. So we're going to grind it out in the hills of Zepik. It's one thing I don't like about just walking into a character to talk to them, not having to actually trigger it. Oftentimes I will accidentally run back into the same person I talked to. And I don't understand. At this point, the one button doesn't do anything. There are two buttons on this controller and everything is controlled with a single button, excluding the control pad, the D-pad. I could have used that to, actively swing your sword, actively talk to people, actively open treasure chests. Instead, everything happens automatically, which is cool. Just odd. It makes me wonder if the one button is going to be used for something in the future. Oh, you know what? We have items. I haven't encountered an item yet. I wonder if items are used by the one button. See if I can get to 2,000 gold. Once I get to 2,000 gold and buy that armor, that may make for a good stopping point for this video. Of course, I will try beating that wizard to see if that helps with the pole damage. But man, I feel like my eyes are just wanting to just shut so I can fall asleep. I may just go right into bed and doze off. Get ready for work tomorrow. I talked about playing, or maybe playing Final Fantasy VI or Pokemon Yellow. I did start playing that game last week, or I think it was last week, early part of last week. I just needed to kill some time in bed one night, and I've had that as a digital download on the 3DS since they released Red, Blue, Yellow earlier this year. I hadn't started it. Red and Blue are the sorts of games that I could play once a year and probably never get tired of. I mean, to say I love those games, and most of the games in the series, most of the core games in the series, is an understatement. I mean, I practically have grown up with Pokemon, playing those games at least every couple of years, if not, every year playing one of them at least. But those games especially, probably Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, probably even up to Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. But see, now I think about it, it's like, well, also Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. I have very fond memories playing those games with friends and just playing those solo. The 4th generation, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, those first games on the Nintendo DS, that's probably the last ones where I have real solid, what I consider like older memories. Of course, I have great memories playing Heart Gold, Soul Silver on the DS. Those games are fantastic. Probably some of the best Those were the best up to that point, probably. Of course, they were remakes of the best, Gold and Silver. But Black White 2, I came to those games pretty late. I didn't really... They were cool. They were definitely progressive, slightly progressive. The Pokemon series, they don't take big leaps. They're very incremental. Those games were a little more progressive than the rest. X and Y, I guess I really enjoyed Y. I just played that game for the first time. Played through that last year. And that's, 2015? That game came out in 2013. So again, came to that game a couple years late. Just because I was replaying all the old Pokemon games with the intention of transferring all those old Pokemon up into the 3DS games. And I really like that game. That's a really fantastic game. Of course, that's the first game that is truly 3D, truly full 3D. So that was a big selling point, watching the animations. It's basically like, having the full-scale battles from Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Stadium, but in the actual core game. And the story was pretty good too. Again, that was a pretty progressive story. Not terribly great, not a big leap forward for the series, but much more incremental than what had previously been seen. And then right now I'm playing Omega Ruby, and I'm kind of a little burned out on that game. I think it's just because I started that game right after beating Y, and that game doesn't differentiate itself from Y that much. And, at that point, I'm caught up with the Pokemon series. Sun and Moon come out later this year. For all intents and purposes, I'm caught up. I still haven't transferred all the Pokemon from, what did I play? Leaf Green, Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, Platinum, Heart Gold, White 2. I haven't transferred those up. Also, Pokemon Coliseum. Pokemon, Coliseum 2? No, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, 2 GameCube games. I haven't transferred those Pokemon up yet, so that's going to be a laborious task. That's going to be a really labor-intensive task. That's going to suck. The methods of transferring Pokemon between generations in those older games sucks. Not looking forward to that. But it'll be rewarding to have all those basically consolidated into a single game or a single generation of games. Hopefully, and I think the only thing I really have left to do really the only thing I have left to do in Omega Ruby is beat the Elite Four, but I think Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had pretty lengthy post games. Lots of stuff to do. I think those games have the most legendaries out of any other Pokemon game, out of any other core Pokemon game. Most legendaries to capture. So I've still got a lot to do in a sense. But for the most part, I'm pretty much done with that. I've got all 8 gym badges. I'm ready to tackle the Elite Four. But it's been a couple months since I've played that actively. Right now I'm just turning it on to get the distribution Pokemon. This is August. Nintendo distributed Arceus through GameStop. So last week Jenny and I went to GameStop. We got our codes for Arceus, and I just got that. I just got the Arceus, I think Sunday, just yesterday. But Pokemon Yellow, it's been about a week. I think I played it. I started it up, played for like 20-30 minutes, got to Viridian City and fell asleep. And I think the next night I played a little bit, just capturing Pokemon outside of Viridian City, and I think I fell asleep after just like 5 or 10 minutes playing it. Just too tired. So I haven't played it since then, but that's the sort of game where it's basically muscle memory for me. I mean, I know those games so well. I will say Yellow is a little more foreign to me since they did introduce some story mechanics to it. I think story and character pulled straight out of the anime, out of the TV show. That game I had rented from Blockbuster back in the day, and I remember playing that. My knowledge is only up till Mount Moon, but that's, I think, just the only thing I remember of that game was encountering Jesse and James in Mount Moon and thinking, whoa, that's totally different. That's like the TV show. What? And of course, I have Pikachu that follows me around. That's another differentiating feature from Red and Blue. So there are some different things in that game, but for the most part, muscle memory will be enough to carry me through. But maybe I'll give that a shot tonight. It's not too late. I'm not going to go to bed for a while, normally. Like I said, I'm so drowsy, though, I may just try play it and then fall asleep after 5 or 10 minutes. I think that red guy is going to follow me all the way to Manea. Should be enough. Yeah. Plenty. Okay, let's see. I have middle shield and the long sword, so I need the next armor. Next one up from chainmail, which is going to be plate mail. How much is reflex? 5,000. Yeah, definitely don't have the money for that yet. Not going to sit here and grind and try and get that all. Go ahead and buy this and then grind. Okay, so we have plate mail now. You're doing good. Let's head back to the hills. Northern Zephic. To enter that palace, see how badly those poles damaged me when fighting that wizard boss. Oh, he blocked me. Impressive. I think I feel a sneeze coming on. May have to mute it here in a second. Yep. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. And I have this game memorized. Before I know it, it's going to be a little more in muscle memory, navigating the world of ease. It'll be easy. Okay, before I go in here, what's my experience? 1032 out of 600. So I still have a long ways to go before my next level up. I'll go and save. Hopefully I won't have to grind to beat this guy. That'll be many enemies if I do. Maybe 20, 30 minutes worth of grinding. Let's see though, hopefully we've gotten the defense to take him on now. I guess this is also a good way to see just how effective this armor is, what sort of change happens after buying a new set of armor. Now, I really ought to save right out here, but we don't know if I'll be good to go or not. If I have a pretty good shot at taking him down, then we want to come back and save right out there. If I have to grind more, we don't want to take that chance. I like it. I think we may be able to do enough damage to him and sustain enough hits to take him out. I don't think I'll reach him there. So when I take those hits, I think I really need to stick to one side. That way I'm only going to get hit by at most one of the poles instead of getting hit by each of the poles. So let's just stick over here to this left side and wait for him to attack. Or wait for him to spawn. Just like that. Ah, that's not good. This may not be the run that's going to defeat him. Oh, jeez. Right next to him. Ah, this is not the run. Well, I'm going to call that the end of this, the third episode of my Let's Play. This is John from MyBurnOutGames.com. Thank you for watching this. We will try in the next video to take down this boss, this wizard. Try and make it further into the palace. I do know there's at least 1 or 2 more floors to this palace. Looking through scans of the manual leads me to believe that, because there are maps of the palace. But anyways, the next episode, we will take him on, hopefully get rid of him, without grinding. I may have to grind to get up 1 more level, but hopefully it won't come to that. Regardless, that's what's in store for the next episode. So, thank you for watching this one. I guess like, comment, subscribe, reach out to me. Check me out on MyBurnOutGames.com. Any way you can, let me know what you think. And please come back for the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.